Beloved heart, I invite you to sign up to my mailing list, and as a result of signing up, you will get a free gift. It's a 5D rebalance tune up of all these chakras, and chakras are my specialty. So I would love to gift you with this transmission that is filled with light language and codes to help you stay balanced and tuned up during these increased frequencies of energy of this ascension, this new earth frequency. So check out the links in the notes of this show. And I look forward to connecting with you. I am sending you love. This is the transfiguration of the new you.
Hello, beloved. I'm Monica Bermudez. I'm your host for the podcast called Ascended Earth, the Transfiguration of the New Human. So happy new moon. This is the first episode for the month of December. We're kicking off the month with a new moon. That's a black moon. And it's so pretty much it's like there's two new moons in the month of December. So they're called black moon when there's two new moons within the same month. So this new moon is in Sagittarius, and it feels appropriate for this message, as well as the message in relation to the holidays that we're all in right now. So the economy has been unstable these days with inflation rising, and it seems like a never-ending rise or cycle, this vicious cycle. It's so uncalled for, and this includes rising interest rates on loans, mortgages, credit cards, you name it. And I can feel the collective energy on this as it says, we can't live like this anymore. And it's time for an economy to have a makeover or renovation, something that is in favor for the people. And honestly, we have the power to make the energetic shift in anything that includes our financial system. There has to be this willingness to do this and a strong intention for it. You know, the energy starts within yourself and myself and others who listen to this as well. For far long, the financial institute has not been serving the people. So it's time to make a change. It starts with the energy as a foundation and an anchoring within your every cell. And the rest are actions taken based on your own intuition and higher guidance. So that's why I use the new moon every time for setting these intentions around this energy of the financial system. So I invite you also to this as well. So I'm not here to make any financial decisions for anybody or to talk about economy prophecies. I am all about the energy, but I'm also very practical. I recognize there's also a level of physical action we need to take on the earth too, because we are in these physical bodies. And the intention of this episode is to have you thinking and being empowered to consider money as energy and a tool for your needs and support in your endeavors, especially in serving your higher purpose on this earth. Remember, we still require living in a physical world that has different forms of currency for exchange. So currency that has evolved in different ways throughout the ages. And with that comes smart ways to spend money or to save as well. But it all comes down to your own intuition on managing your own finances. Also being realistic where you are, and at the same time finding smart ways that work for different funding sources. And I feel that the current situation in the financial world now is to build multiple streams of funding is the smartest approach. And it also supports financial freedom. So I started to notice that during the month of December, my expenses would increase. It was mainly due to all sorts of holiday sales, and sometimes we get lost in a holiday spirit and spending, and I would find myself in those post-holiday debt hangover. So after many years of this, I said no more, and to be smart and realistic of all of this, and more in tune to my own higher guidance on what is really needed. Hence, this episode is to share with you 5 smart keys to holiday spending. And honestly, I wish I had some of these tips before any depths. But it's all lesson learned about being human, and it's part of that human bloopers. So my desire is that it helps you. Light workers and star seeds like you and I have been on Earth before in different incarnations to experience different human roles and experiences. And I remember some of these roles, and I feel it is part of my responsibility to help so many overcome their money, financial, or abundant blocks as I have worked on myself to undo and reprogram myself. And I will say blocks for now, even though we are truly not blocked because it is an illusion of the separation, too. I have so many different talks about this in different episodes on my podcast, and I will continue to share other perspectives as well in the future coming episodes as well. So do check them out if you haven't already. So, in one of my human incarnation roles, I feel in my heart that I was a part of the Knights Templar, and it was confirmed through different channelings. There's a reason I share this with you because it is related to this episode message. Did you know the whole loan system started during the Knights Templar? This is around the 12th century. So, according to the history of the Knights Templar often remembered for their military role during the Crusades, but they also played a significant part in the development of the modern financial system. Their unique blend of religious devotion, military discipline, and financial innovation made them pioneers in several banking practices that still influence the financial world today. And this is a very stagnant energy that has been corrupted for years now as well. And I feel this is in my heart to be true. Now, I don't remember in a way we think remembrance is in human terms, such as what you wore or ate yesterday, for example. The way I remember is through the energy of and my psychic abilities of knowingness through the Akashic records of my soul, which is called claircognizance, and the feeling in my body known as clairsentient. And I also get visuals, which is also known as clairvoyance. So back to the history. The Order of the Knights Templar was established around 1119 in Jerusalem after the First Crusade to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. The organization was initially formed by Hugues de Payens, a French knight, and 8 other knights who vowed to protect pilgrims through robbers and safeguard important religious rites and sites. The order's name comes from their headquarters, which was located on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, where they took their vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And it's exactly these vows that I have been on doing in myself. So basically, deprogramming and reprogramming myself with new vows of abundance. And in my latest book, I share so many ways and techniques to deprogram and reprogram, which you can find information in my episode notes. And I also have an episode on my podcast on this as well. So these are, the foundations of so many different vows in relation to poverty, chastity, celibacy, etc., that keep us from fully embracing our abundance. There is this deep feeling that there is this program in the background that's playing, over and over like a broken record that keeps us from benefiting from all resources. And it also has to do with what we say out loud as well. And sometimes we're not so consciously aware what it is that we're saying out loud, and it's subconsciously programmed within ourselves. So it is like putting spells out there. So eventually, going back to the Templars, the Templars grew in number and wealth, so they became powerful military order. And by the late 12th century, they were also involved in non-military activities, including finance. So for instance, they established a banking network. So their finance began with their ability to accumulate large amounts of wealth, mainly from donations of European nobles who saw the order as an important religious and military force. They developed a network of estates across Europe as well as the Holy Land, where they held significant assets. So a lot of their wealth sources came through donations, land holdings, and property management and military endeavors. So, with such a vast holdings and wealth, the Templars needed a way to manage their assets. And this led to the development of an early form of banking system, which was one of the most significant innovations of the Templars, as their role as early bankers laying the foundation for modern banking system. They introduced a number of financial practices that would become common in the centuries to come, known as the letters of credit. One of the most revolutionary financial innovations of the Templars was the introduction of letters of credit. These were essentially written promises that allow pilgrims and merchants to deposit money at one of the Templars' branch locations in Europe and then withdraw it at another branch, often thousands of miles away in the Holy Land. This made long distance travel more safe, as people no longer had to carry large amounts of cash, which could be stolen or lost. Then they also included safe deposits, which allowed individuals to deposit money, jewels, or other valuables in their safekeeping in exchange for receipt. And then they also started the loans and credits, which provided loans to European kings, nobles, and even the church, often using their vast network of properties as collateral. This practice was crucial to their influence of financial power, notably to King Philip IV of France, who borrowed substantial sums from the Templars, which would also play a downfall for the Templars. And finally, the Knights Templar built their banking empire on foundation of trust, with both religious and financial authority lending them credibility. Their global network of knights' estates and properties was essentially a proto-banking network, helping them facilitate a vast range of transactions across Europe, the Levant, and even parts of North Africa. They were also very secretive about their operations, which may have added to some of their mystique and suspicious surrounding them. Their role as a religious and military leaders gave them immense credibility, and they became an early example of trusted intermediary in financial transactions. However, this did not last too long. And that's when corruption started to unfold in different ways. So by the early 14th century, the order had grown too powerful, both in a military and a financial state, which made them a target and a threat for various monarchs, particularly King Philip IV of France. And King Philip was deeply in debt to the Templars and sought to consolidate power by eliminating them. So hence 1307, the year, which is Friday, October 13th, which is what started this whole number 13 being bad luck, is the date that the King Philip ordered the arrest of all the Templar Knights in France, accusing them of heresy, blasphemy, and other charges. Many were tortured, executed, including the Grand Master, and the Templars' assets were seized, and the order was officially disbanded by Pope Clement V in 1312. However, much of the Templars' wealth and financial network did not vanish. Some historians suggest that remnants of their wealth have been passed on to other orders related to the Knights Templars or absorbed into other banking systems. But they leave behind this legacy, right, through our own banking systems that we have now. The banking practices, which included the financial system that we have right now, moving, keeping money in places so that people are able to travel vast distances, credits and loans, the practice of lending to knights and nobles, using this real estate as collateral influence, and development of more sophisticated lending practices. And then the financial institutes, which we have, right now for the banking systems. So although there were other financial institutes before the Knights Templars, the Knights Templars sticks out the most because of their innovative approach and methods to the financial institute that we have now. But it is still the energy of corruption that I feel it's getting worse because, as I've said, the rates are ridiculously high. I don't feel they need to be as high as some of the institutes have established It's time for renewal and to be in service of others and be more supportive as it was intended to be originally. But just like the history has said, or even in hidden history, which we all carry the memory within ourselves in the quantum space of ourselves, the currency exchange has been changing throughout time to meet the modern ways. And the new earth brings new energies, but also new ways of currency that are of wealth and abundance. For now, I want to share ways with you to make it through the holiday spending so that you're not in the dreaded post holiday debt hangover. And this requires creativity, planning, and discipline. So we're shifting from this survival mode into this creative mode. So here are some 5 top keys to navigate the season without sacrificing your financial well-being and to not get so stressed. Number 1, discipline. Set a budget and stick to it. Now that we are in the holiday season, decide on a realistic budget for gifts, travel, food, and entertainment. Break down the categories, gifts for whoever you want to give to, like family, friends, or coworkers, and set individual spending limits. You can also use an Excel spreadsheet, which is what I use. And frankly, you don't have to give gifts either. Giving gifts on the holidays is another misnomer. It's sufficient in most cases with a holiday wish, and be open to and honest with others to manage expectations. So asking others to donate your favorite charity program is another example. But if you feel you must give a gift, then number 2, focus on a thoughtful, budget-friendly gifts. You don't have to spend a lot to give meaningful presents. Consider DIY gifts, cooking a homemade meal, or offering your time and talents, like babysitting or pet sitting. Group gifts or family, for family or friend pool can also save money while still feeling generous. Look for sales and discount codes are another way of trying to save money as well. And the next one is one of my biggest takeaway. Avoid credit card debt. The temptation to charge purchases to your credit card can lead to a post-holiday debt hangover. Only use credit cards if you can pay off the balance in full when the bill arrives. If you do have to use the credit, avoid making more purchases until you've paid off existing debt. If you're able, consider using a debit card or prepaid card with a set amount of money loaded onto it, and this keeps you from spending in check. Number 4, plan for post-holiday savings. Plan ahead for the months after the holidays when bills start coming in off. Open a separate savings account for holiday expenses and automatically transfer a small amount each month leading up to the season. If you're looking to reduce your holiday-related stress, create a post-holiday savings plan in January and prioritize paying off any holiday debt quickly. And the final one, number 5, set clear financial intentions for the new year. So after the holidays, review your spending and set clear, realistic intentions to avoid some of the same financial pitfalls in the coming year. Consider cutting back on non-essential expenses, reviewing subscription services, and reducing impulse buys. And as a final tip, consider automating your savings to make process easier. Set up automatic transfers into a high-yield savings account or retirement fund. So by approaching the holidays with intention and planning ahead, you can enjoy the season without stressing about the financial aftermath. The key is being practical, realistic, being creative, and staying mindful of your spending habits. So that this be very helpful for you in so many different ways. And with that, we will just conclude with a small exercise, and that is to connect to your own heart and set this intention here together of financial freedom. and that it be felt throughout all and every one of your single cells, activating and opening up, expanding the abundance that you already hold within yourself. So it all starts with the energy, but there's also a practical element in this. That you always be in financial freedom. And so it is. Thank you, and I will catch you in another episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.